Hey guys, Marco from Feel Like an Athlete here, and in this week's video I want to talk about the cost of getting lean and what it means or what happens when you become really lean. I think it is a problem these days that I guess a lot of people don't understand when enough's enough, when they've dropped a good amount of body fat and they're happy with what they see, and what's happening is they wanting to get even more lean. They want to drop even more body fat, and there should be a line that's drawn in regards to how low your body fat should be so that you're able to still perform the way you want to perform and be healthy long term. And I guess everyone has a little bit of a different number in regards to the percentage of body fat and what's like a normal or what's a healthy range. Everyone's a little bit different. But when we start talking about dropping below 10% body fat, then there are going to be problems for most people. Some people, genetics play a big role, and some people are lucky that way. So I guess, some people might be 15% body fat and their abs stick out a lot. And their goal is that they want to get abs, whereas some people need to be even lower for their abs to stick out. And those people who need to get lower, need to get below 10%, they need to understand that there's risks involved and there are costs involved in getting lean. I think that the advantage of being super lean is that you're pretty confident, you look pretty good, and you can be confident to take your shirt off and like look good in singlets and stuff like that. You get compliments a lot, but besides that, there's a lot of negatives to it, right? And also in regards to talking about fat loss and getting a really low body fat percentage, the way that you lose your first 5 kilos is completely different to the way that you lose your last 5 kilos, or the way that you lose your first 5% body fat is very different to the way that you lose your last 5% body fat. A lot of what I've learned about this, the cost of getting lean, is from my training with Precision Nutrition. So a lot of people who I guess aspire to look like fitness models, physique models, bodybuilders, don't really understand that when you see them up on stage performing, or like even an actor who does like 8 months of pretty intense training and their nutrition has to be on point, you see them when they're at their absolute peak. It is very hard to maintain that shredded look or that really lean, low fat body percentage all year round. It's actually probably not possible. Obviously, a lot of the stuff that we see online and in magazines has been photoshopped as well, so that also plays a part in you wanting to be super lean. So I guess I'll talk about what the actual costs are from a standpoint of your lifestyle. So you will have a lot more difficulty socializing with your friends, and more so when there's situations where there's food involved, where you might be missing out on certain things. So you don't have that flexibility when you're someone who's super lean and you want to stay that way. You don't have that flexibility to eat what maybe some of your other friends are eating. You'll have more issues with committing to tracking your food, measuring your food, preparing your food, weighing your food, all that stuff. It's all going to take up time. People are usually a lot more obsessive about their diet and their training. There's no flexibility there, and that can lead to disorders around that stuff. So unhealthy obsessions with that stuff. And then the other one would be still around time, but you just spend too much time training. You don't actually allow yourself to involve yourself in other activities and interests that probably to you would still be, would be a lot more fun. So they're like the lifestyle related issues that I see with being super lean. There are more, and probably more importantly, health related issues. And if you're someone who's super shredded and you're like less than 10% body fat, this may not be you. This is for most people. Some people can get away with it, and they've probably been playing sport or they've been active their whole life, and that's just their body has adjusted to that for now. But for the majority of people, these are usually issues that I find with people who are super lean. So your energy, you usually feel sluggish, you usually feel tired, because you're essentially always going to be in a bit of a calorie deficit. So you're actually not eating as much as your body needs. And that's why you're continuing to lose body fat. When you do stay shredded, but you're not really changing your body, well, that's because your body's now come down and it's adjusted it's kind of to its maintenance mode, but it's still very low. It doesn't mean that the body's in homeostasis now and it's like, sweet, I've got everything I need. It's just, it's come down and it's adjusted, but it's still not that it's in a deficit, it still might be under what you need for the day. And we're talking your macronutrients and your micronutrients for your body to function perfectly. Your hormones can get thrown out of whack. Often when you've got really low levels of fat in your body, it can lead into like reductions of you producing hormones such as your like testosterone, your insulin, thyroid, leptin. These are some big ones. Extremely low level of body fat and energy then means that you're going to have higher levels of cortisol in your body. So cortisol is like the stress hormone. And then if your body is constantly under stress, then your immune system's under stress, or it's not going to be functioning properly. It's not as strong, right? And then you will get sick a lot more. And that can lead to a whole bunch of issues as well. So people who are very, very lean can get quite sick. And also because they're at like the tipping point at the very top of you know, like there's very, very little room for error when you're that lean. So you can get sick a lot more often. It happens to high level athletes all the time. So yeah, so that's a big one. Then when you are also fat depleted, body fat depleted, you don't really have any more energy stores in your system. So your training goes to shit, you recover poorly, you don't have any optimal levels to train properly. So your training will go to shit too when you're super, super lean. So they're the main ones with your health. And it's not just the social situations and the situations of your lifestyle. When you are in a deficit, or when you are at a very, very low maintenance level for your body, you're more than likely not going to be bringing or putting in as much in regards to nutrition as you need. And you're going to miss out on some essential like vitamins and minerals from important foods because you don't eat as much and you're super lean, and you know that's just the way that your body is at the moment. But the one good thing is that you look amazing. So there is a cost to getting lean. I hope that this I guess breaks down some of that, and you understand that there is a healthy level of body fat that you should have, and getting shredded isn't all it's meant to be. Because if it was, then everyone would be shredded and it'd be really easy to get shredded, but it's not. Thanks, guys.